Today, I want to challenge some of the conventional thinking around getting a house ready to sell. Because what if I gave you $500 and said, okay, make this house show better and sell faster? What would you do with it? And I'm serious, just $500. Because I think sellers sometimes assume that getting a house market ready means spending thousands and thousands of dollars, when sometimes the better move is simply knowing where a small amount of money can make a really big difference. So that's what I want to do today. I want to walk through a house almost the way I would with one of my own sellers and show you where I'd be looking and what I'm noticing and where I'd actually put that $500. And stay with me because one of the things I'd spend the money on is so incredibly boring. Nobody gets excited about it. But I genuinely think it can change the entire way a buyer feels about your house. So imagine we're standing outside your house right now. Before we even go inside, I'm looking around and asking myself, does this house feel cared for? Not perfect, not professionally landscaped, just cared for. Because buyers start forming an opinion before they even walk through the front door. If the bushes are overgrown, the mulch looks tired, the porch is dirty, maybe the front door could use a fresh coat of paint. Those are little things, but they start telling a story. And I would much rather put a little money there and have buyers walk up thinking, oh, this looks really nice, and then ignore the entrance because all of their attention went somewhere else. Then, when we walk inside, I'm paying attention to how the house feels. Is it bright? Does it feel fresh? Or is there one light fixture in the entry that is dating the entire house? Because sometimes that's all it is. You don't necessarily need to change every fixture in the house, but if there's one chandelier or one bathroom fixture that is just screaming 1998, that might be a very easy place to spend $75 or $100. And while we're talking about lighting, please look at your light bulbs too. I cannot tell you how many houses I walk into where one room is yellow and the next one is bright white, and the next room has some weird blue light going on. It sounds so minor, but it changes the feel of the house and it absolutely changes the way your listing photos look. Okay, so now we're in the kitchen. And this is where I want sellers to resist the urge to overthink it. Instead of walking in and saying, what should we redo? I'm asking, what is making the kitchen feel older than it really is? Because those are two completely different questions. Maybe the countertops are fine, but the hardware is dated. Okay, great. That might be $40. Maybe the faucet looks worn out. Maybe the grout needs a little good cleaning. Maybe the caulk around the sink is yellowing. None of that is exciting, but collectively, those little things change the way the room feels. Same thing in the bathroom. Sometimes sellers look at an older bathroom and immediately think the whole thing needs to be renovated. And I'm looking at it and thinking, actually, we can make this look dramatically better for $100. A new light fixture, maybe caulk, clean grout, maybe a new mirror. Maybe we don't touch anything else. That's what I mean by being strategic with the money. And as we keep walking through the house, I'm looking for anything that just feels tired. There's usually a wall going up the stairs that everybody touches. Those are usually scuffs around the doorways, and baseboards might need some attention too. Maybe there's one really bold paint color that is taking over the room. You live there, so there are things that, you've stopped seeing for a long time, but buyers see them immediately. And I'm not saying you need to paint the entire house. Well, maybe you do, but sometimes a gallon of paint and a little bit of time can make a house feel substantially fresher. And then we get to the boring one, cleaning. I know, so exciting, right? But I'm telling you, this is one of the most underestimated things sellers can do. And I'm not talking about your regular cleaning. I'm talking about the kind of cleaning where you get down to the details: the shower glass, the grout, the baseboards, the cabinet doors, the corners of the floors, the windows, and the fingerprints around the light switches. All the little things that have slowly become invisible to you because you see them every day. And by the way, smells, yeah, they matter too. Pets, cooking, carpets, basement, whatever it is, you may not smell your own house anymore, but a buyer will. And here's why I care about cleaning so much. When a house is exceptionally clean, buyers tend to feel that it has been well maintained. They may not consciously think, wow, these baseboards are immaculate. No, they just get a feeling that the house has been cared for, and that feeling matters. So if you gave me $500, I'm not necessarily going to hand you a shopping list and say, spend exactly this much here and exactly this much there, because every house is different. Your house might desperately need curb appeal. Someone else's house might have great curb appeal, but terrible lighting. Another house might just need a paint touch up and a deep clean. The point is to walk through and ask, where can a relatively small amount of money make this house feel noticeably better? That's where I want the money going. And before you even spend that $500, I would have your realtor walk through the house with you, because you need someone who is seeing your house the way buyers are going to see it. Ask them, where would you put the money? What would you change? What would you leave alone? That conversation can save you a lot of money. And if you're thinking about selling here in the Cary or Raleigh area, this is exactly what I do with my sellers. I walk through the house with you. I tell you where I think your money will actually make a difference and where I think you should save it. Because getting a house ready to sell does not always have to mean spending a fortune. Sometimes $500 spent really well can completely change the way a buyer experiences your home, and that's the goal. So, curious what the market has been like? Watch this video next from my recent seller workshop. And if you're thinking of putting your house on the market, you know the drill. Drop me a DM so we can chat about how I can help, and share this video with anyone thinking of selling. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.